Good morning, students. I hope you are doing fine. Let's start with the next lecture of human resource management. Today, in this lecture, I will cover the process of human resource planning. So, let's not waste any time. Let's start. The first thing is analyzing organizational plan and objectives. Before you plan to get the human resource, the first thing is to analyze the business plan of yours and the objective of the business plan in regarding what is the plan of your business in the future. You have to analyze the business plan of yours in terms of which section you are into. You are into technology, you are into, let's say, in accounting. What kind of business do you have? Whether it's a big business, it's a complex business, what kind of people will be required for you that business. You have to analyze that part as a plan as a whole. What is your business? Because depending upon that, you will analyze what kind of employees do you require down the line. Without knowing the plan of your business, you won't understand what kind of employees to hire. Second is the objective, means down the line, what do you want to do with your business? Do you want to expand? Do you want to diversify into different resources, different platforms? For example, if I are into mobile manufacturing, do you want to diversify into laptops? Do you want to diversify into making TVs? Or do you want to expand your existing mobile experience, mobile platforms into multiple chains of mobiles? What is your objective as a business? Depending upon that, you will require certain type of employees. Example, let's say if I want to diversify into, let's say, in the laptop manufacturing department from mobile, I will require separate kind of human resource who will have knowledge about laptops. But if I want to expand into same, let's say in the mobile manufacturing, then I can hire someone who is into mobile manufacturing only. So depending upon that, my human resource need will change. The first thing is to to know what is your plan and what is the objective of your organization. I'm sorry if there is a noise because it's raining right in the background. Second point is analyzing objectives of human resource planning. Once you identified the objective of the company as a whole, then you have to identify the objective of human resource planning. So here you have to plan how you will get the resource, what is the main purpose of human resource planning. Example, will you get the human resource via promotions, via transfers, or some other sources will be there? How you gonna plan for it? What is your objective of getting the human resource? Whether you want talented or means qualified or skilled laborers, do you want experienced or do you want non-skilled, that is just a laborers? What is your objective of your human resource? How you want to use it for your entire organization? That you need to analyze as a whole. Plan, analyze what is the objective of the human resource planning, why you are planning for the human resource. You have to identify that first. After that, once you analyze the business plan, the objective and objectives of human resource planning, the next step is to forecast the demand for human resource. Now, forecasting means predicting the future, right? I'm forecasting there will be rain in a couple of minutes. Now, you have to forecast the demand for human resource. What it means over here is that you have to find out how much requirement will be there for human resource down the line. How many employees do I require? What kind of employees do I require? What is the qualification I will require? What is the expertise that I will require? I have to forecast for it in the future so that accordingly I can recruit them in the future. So I can do the selection process very efficiently. So I know whom to hire down the line. I have to forecast that what is my demand for the future. Example, in your personal life, you forecast, right, how much money you will require in next month, in the coming month, how much expenditure you will have. You forecast that and accordingly you manage your money, right? Similarly, here I have to forecast the demand for future human resources so that I don't waste my time in hiring wrong people. The next is forecasting the supply of human resource. Now once I identify how much manpower I require, human resource I require, the next step is to identify from where I will get these resources. Whether I will get these resources within internal, promotion, transfer and so on, which we learned in the next previous lecture. From where we'll get the resources. Then whether it will be just through advertisement, through outside, getting from competition, how I will get the supply of required human resource, I have to forecast for it. Whether I will do it through advertisement, whether I will get it from competition, whether I'm going to get it transferred from some other company, how I will get my human resource, I have to analyze that part also. I got the demand, I know how much I require. Now I need to find out from where I will get this required demand, the supply I need to find. And then once you find the demand, that how much I require and from where I will get the resource, the next step is to match both the things, that is matching demand and supply. That is how much I require, let's say 100 employees, then I have to match that with getting the 100 employees through supply. I have to identify 100 employees out there required, skilled as per my requirement. I have to identify 100 employees so that I can match demand with supply. Again, I'm explaining here, you have to match the demand and supply. I require 100 employees, 100 become employees. Let's say I have to find out 100 become employees, matching demand with supply. Then after that, once you have found out, once you got, the next is monitoring and control. The next part is monitoring and control. Over here, what you have to do is that once you plan the human resource, that you know from where you will get the employee, what is your demand for the employees, means how many employees you require, the plan, objective. Once you got all that, you have to monitor that plan, whether it is going the right direction or not. Let's say you went out for, let's say you wanted to hire a person who is good in computer coding. You planned for it, you found the demand, you found how many computer coders you require, let's say 10 you require, and you found that 10 qualified coders out there. You have to monitor that particular plan, how it is going on, how it is being implemented, and if some things are wrong, some things are going not as per your plan, then you have to modify accordingly. Example, let's say in the planning process I decided to get the coders, computer coders, through outside resource, that is through advertisement. And while monitoring that particular program, I found out that there are no good coders out there. There are nobody. So I cannot go ahead with the same plan, that is hiring from some outside resources. There I can change my plan to, let's say, getting somebody from competitor. So here I have to monitor the plan and control the plan accordingly. So here is the process of human resource planning. Okay. The next part is benefits of human resource planning. Now over here, what is the benefit of doing human resource planning? The first one is retaining top talents. See, as you can see in the planning process, I know what is the plan of my company, what are the objectives of my company, what is the demand of human resource that I require, plus supply, everything I know. Here I will understand who are the top talent in my company, who have the maximum skill in my company. Through this process, I will identify them, and because of this, I will make sure I retain them in my company, because top talent, top skilled employees in my company will benefit me down the line in the future, because they will give me much more productivity. So it's very important, through planning process I identify who are the best talent out there. Next is addresses organization's manpower need. Means through planning process I analyze the demand of manpower, right? So here I come to know what is my manpower requirement down the line in the future, in the coming weeks, coming production capacity. I know that because of planning I did. I know well in advance how much do I require. Example for you, let's say you want to go to certain, let's say you want to go to for a tour, let's say, which is not possible right now during this pandemic, but let's say you want to go for a tour. First thing, you plan for it, right? Where you will go, how much money do you have to spend. Once you know all that, accordingly you will arrange money for it, and so that you won't have any problem during the tour. Similarly over here, once I plan for human resource, I will know exactly how much manpower do I require and what is my need for the same. So it addresses that problem of finding human resources. My needs are satisfied because of planning process. The next is ensures that right people are hired. Because of planning process, I have planned objectives, means what kind of employees do I require. The plans I have well laid down. Everything is clear in the planning process. I have forecasted the demand for right kind of employees. Plus I have forecasted the supply of right kind of employees. This will avoid finding or selecting a wrong employee or wrong qualified employee. Because of planning process, I will select the right guy at the right position. There won't be any error, or there will be less chance of any error selecting a wrong kind of employee. Let me give an example for this to simplify this particular point. Let's say I want, let's say for a let's say I have a BCom post, let's say I have an accounting post, or let's say your level, let's say computer post is there for programming. Programming post is there, okay, and let's say specifically, let's say Java programming, for example, Java programming position is there in my company. Now if I don't plan from where I will get, what kind of qualification I will require to get the right employee, I may end up hiring an employee who doesn't know Java at all. He might be a BCA graduate, but let's say in that his college Java was not there, but qualification is BCA, right? But if I plan for it, I can specifically mention in the advertisement that I want a BCA graduate who knows Java. So because of planning process, I will avoid the chance of getting a wrong employee in my company. Next is training of employees. Over here in the planning process, you account for the training process, because in the objective phase, you understand what you will require down the line. So you plan for training of employees in the objective phase. For example, if your demand for trained employees, you know whether you have to train the employees or not. Again, I'm repeating. Let's say in the demand process, you find out you require trained guys, well-trained guys in advance. Then you will hire a trained guys who are already. But in the demand process, you identify, let's say in objective phase, you identify that you require freshers. Then you will account for training those particular freshers. So in planning process, you account for every single thing when you hire a particular employee, so that down the line you won't waste any time on those particular employees and they can work very efficiently in your company. Next is coping with the change. As I said, demand, the forecast, as I said, forecasting the demand for human resource. Here you have to identify also what kind of employees I will require, plus objective of my human resource planning, that is planning for expansion, planning for growing the business. Growing the business, down the line the technology will change, things will change. In the planning process, it will identify, it will make provisions for those technological changes, certain changes in the human resources, and how it will adopt itself towards the new changes by training the new employees. Overall package, overall things are identified during this particular process, so that you avoid wastage, you avoid problems down the line. Example, let's say you hire a programmer, you hire a BCA person, fine, today. But in the planning process, you can identify, let's say that down the line, the requirement for technology will be different down the line in the future. So accordingly, you can hire a particular person over here. Let's say instead of hiring a BCA graduate, you hire an MCA person who has done graduation, post graduation, that is MCA. Instead of hiring BCA, you hire someone who is done MCA, because you predicted future that technology will change and I will require someone who has much more knowledge. So instead of hiring a BCA person, I will hire an MCA person. So these things are accounted for in human resource planning. Next is process of recruitment. In the last lecture, I covered the sources of recruitment from external, internal. Here I will cover the process of recruitment. The first step is recruitment planning. Here you have to plan for the recruitment process. What will be the qualification for the particular post? What is the position of, what is the vacant position, means what is the vacant position, what kind of job it is, specify the job, what are the description, what will be there in the particular job, what are the requirements for the particular job. You identify all these parts. What is the qualification required for the particular post, what will be the experience, whether fresher required or experience, trained, non-trained, what kind of employees required for that particular position. You plan every single thing out for the particular vacant position. Once you plan all that, recruitment planning has done, means how you will do it. So once you identify the plan, means the vacant position, requirement, qualification, everything, the next step is to develop a strategy. Here you identify how you will hire those employees, what will be your process, what will be your approach, route you will take to hire these employees, through interviews, through transfers, through promotions, getting from the competition, how you will fill those vacant position into your company. You have to develop a particular strategy. Once you develop the particular strategy, next step, very easy, is to start searching for these employees. Let's say you selected an option of advertisement. So you put an advertisement, you start searching for those prospective employees. Let's say you went for transfer option. You have to identify who are the eligible candidates, who are the eligible employees in my companies who are eligible for the transfer. Or let's say I chose promotion as a technique, promotion as a strategy. I have to identify among my employees who is the right candidate to get the promotion. Who is the right person should I give promotion to, so that I hire the right person. So here I have to start searching for those prospective employees for that particular vacant position. Next is, once you found all these employees, prospective employees, here you have to screen them. Screen in the sense that you have to identify who fits the best for a particular vacant position and throw out, deselect all those prospective employees who doesn't fit in that particular criteria. Example, let's say my position, vacant position, required a graduate. Alright, a graduate with 70%, let's say. Then I got all the prospective employees. I will remove those who are not graduate and doesn't have 70% in graduation. So I'm screening them out, or those who are not filling that particular position, not required, not right for that particular position, I will throw them out. That is called screening. From these many employees, prospective employees, I'm coming down to this. I'm taking out unnecessary prospective employees. Once you do that, next process is evaluation and control. Means you evaluate a particular employee list, prospective list, and find out any deviation in your plan or not. Do you have to change the particular recruitment planning process? Something extra has to be done. Let's say you went for let's say advertisement process only, and you found out that during this process you didn't get any qualified people. You got the pool of people you screened down, but you did not find the qualified right candidate, perfect candidate. That is the evaluation that you are doing. Then you may change it. You may go for, let's say, promotion aspect, promotion option. So you will find for promotion, so find for employees which are there in the company for promotion, because you found out through advertisement process that in outside there are no good employees. So evaluation done, you are controlling that by changing your process to promotion thing. So this is the small process of recruitment planning, very easy. That first is you plan what you will require, position, qualification, specification of the job, then how you will get the particular employee, then start searching for those employees, screen them, throw out unnecessary, unqualified people, then you evaluate your entire plan and change things which are required. This is the small process of recruitment planning. So that's it for this particular lecture. I will see you in the next lecture. Till then, take care. Bye bye.